So I think it was about 3 weeks ago I saw this photo on Instagram. And I have seen photos like this before, and I've always wanted to try it out myself, but always thought that it was way too difficult to do with my level of photography. But then I decided to do some research and actually figure out how to do it, and it turns out that it isn't actually that hard to do. So today we're gonna take the camera and we're gonna take a tripod, and then we're gonna go to the forest, and I'm gonna explain why we choose the location we do and what to do when you're out shooting. So let's pack the bag and head out to the forest. Alright, so I have arrived out at the destination I wanted to take the photos at, and I've chosen this location because there is a lot of trees here. And what I like with this effect is that if you have a lot of trees with some bare trunks, so there isn't any branches or leaves until high up at the tree, but this isn't a necessity for the photo to have bare trunks. You can take the photo with trees that have branches all over the place. It is just because I think when I edit the photo, the outcome of the photo is gonna get better with this, in my opinion. So this is very subjective, so do whatever you want to. But the first thing we're gonna want to do here is to set up the tripod, and I think I'm gonna set it up here, right here. So when I take the photo, I'm gonna stand right here or something. Yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty cool. So we have now placed the tripod where I want it to be, and we're gonna set up the camera now. So I'm gonna switch over to my phone now to film the rest of this thing outside, so I can actually explain what I'm doing while I take the photos. Alright, so I have set up the camera now, and I'm just gonna briefly go over the settings I have on the camera and why I have them. So, the shutter speed is at 1/20th of a second, and f2.8 and ISO 100. These settings doesn't have to be any specific number or anything. Most of the things we're gonna do to the photo to get the effect I want is done inside of Photoshop. So this is just to expose the photo correctly. Other than that, I have a 10-second timer on, and that's because I am out here alone, so I don't have any friends to take the photo of me, so I'm gonna have to take a self-portrait. So if you want to know how I take my self-portraits, I have actually made a video on how to do it, and it's up in one of the corners now, so you can go check it out if you want to. But let's just get into it and actually take the photos. So let's take a look at this to see if I'm in the center of the photo. It looks like I am. Alright, so I wasn't totally in focus, so we're just gonna try to do it again. Right, so my phone ran out of space to record on, so I couldn't actually show you the photo because it is inside of the camera that I'm filming on right now. But I checked it out and it was in focus and I was centered, so it is definitely usable. So now we're just gonna head back home and actually put it inside of Photoshop and edit the photo. So I will see you there. Alright, so we are back home now and I've imported the photo into Lightroom. So let's just take a look at it. So here are the photo, and I'm really happy with the result. But the first thing we're gonna do is to go in and make it 16:9, and I'm actually gonna keep it landscape for one time because I think this looks better. And then I'm just gonna make a quick edit, and I want to edit the photo before I actually get it into Photoshop and do the thing I want to be doing there, because when it is edited in Photoshop with all the blurry things, it is kind of hard to see what you're working with, so it's good to edit it beforehand, and that's what I'm gonna do now. So I've put on a preset called Teal and Orange, and I want to be having it a bit more orange here, so we actually get some more colors in here. Want it a bit more bright, and then I want the oranges to be a bit more red here, not too much. And the green's a bit down and the yellow's a bit down. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with this. Not the hardest edit, but yeah. So then we're gonna go into Photoshop, and then the way you do this is to right click or double with 2 fingers on the mouse pad, and then go into edit in and edit in Adobe Photoshop. And this way it's gonna automatically put it inside of Photoshop and we can edit it from there, and it is very smart because you don't have to transfer it and lose information on the file. Alright, so we're inside of Photoshop now, and as you can see, the photo is here with all the same settings as I had inside of Lightroom. The first thing we're gonna do is to duplicate the layer, and this is gonna call Blurry. And then I'm gonna duplicate the layer again, just to have a backup layer. So the background layer is gonna be the backup layer, this one. And then we're gonna call this not blurry. So we want to be going into filters here, blur, and then motion blur. And we want the angle to be 90 degrees, just because if it is not 90 degrees, it's gonna look weird, because we want it to match the trees and they are 90 degrees vertical up. Yeah. So then we're just gonna add a lot of here. I think we're gonna go a bit down, so like something like this. And then we want to, because this looks pretty weird, and that's why we have another layer, so we can just remove it. So we're now gonna make a mask here, and then we're gonna press Command I, so we invert all the things here. So now we want to have the effect only affecting the top of the photo and some things on the side here. So we go in here and then press on the gradient tool. We want to have the tool here not as this one, but as this one. I don't know why it's in Danish, but it should be looking like this, so it goes from all the way wide to nothing. And then we just drag down like this and keep on dragging down until we're happy with it. So this is fine, because we can fix it that right now it's going over me, which isn't what we want it to be doing. But then we press B to go into the brush tool, and we make sure that this is big enough, because we want to be affecting a lot of the photo. And then I go over this. I actually want it to be a bit bigger here. Then we're gonna affect the rest of the trees here, just to make it look pretty surreal. Then we're gonna press X and actually make the size of the brush a bit smaller, so we can erase the things over me here, so we still have me in focus. And I'm just gonna fine tune all the things here. Yeah, and I think we're done here. So now we just press Command S to save it, and it would automatically save it inside of Lightroom, so we can see the changes we have made inside of Lightroom as well. Yeah, so now we're inside of Lightroom, and as you can see, the changes are here. And this is how I do this effect, and I think this is the most efficient and the fastest way to do it, and the easiest way, because when you first try it out yourself, it isn't that hard to remember. So you guys should definitely go try it out for yourself. It isn't that hard, and you just need some trees or something straight in the photo. It doesn't have to be trees. But if you like the video, please consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like down below, and then comment if you're actually gonna try and go out and try this effect. And if you are, then you can DM me on Instagram, and I will check it out and give you a feedback on what I think about the photo. So yeah, that's it from me today. I'm out.